Hi, welcome to part 17. Well, this is the screen. It's still got a screen protector over it, so it's got plastic on it. I'm trying really hard to not shake the camera because I'm just using my mobile. I had to just load so many sort of frames to get it to work. So it's not that smooth, but this is what they are. That's just how they work. So I've said to you about before about where I've put some jokes in there, and these are like the little jokes that, you know, we know we have a bit of a laugh with them really, because my mate's a 6 foot odd builder, and I thought I was honestly the same height as him, or at least up to his shoulder, but there was a picture took of us the other year and I'm only actually up to his elbow. So to me he's like the Wookiee, and I have to let the Wookiee win or I could have my arms pulled out. So that's the joke really. We're both Star Wars fans as well, so you know, that's how it sort of came about, this whole project, like I've said. So I've let it load the whole thing because this, now I need to start testing it further and further. This, when it's done in a minute, it will trigger the interrupt on the Arduino, so the Arduino knows that it's finished, so I can add jokes or take them away or make it shorter or longer, and it won't affect the code. The code will just sit there and wait until it's finished. So it's on number 9 now. I think the last one is just to let the Wookiee win. That's it, it's gone. See, it's just flashed, so that's it. It's now put a pulse to the Arduino, so the Arduino knows now that this is now on the main screen, if you like. It hasn't picked these up straight away because I've restarted it and I've got one pair of hands, and the code probably needs a restart on the Arduino. Right, there we go. Right, so it's come up. I'll just reset it because I'm fiddling around turning it off with different means and methods and stuff. So these numbers for these track numbers, at the moment they're hard coded, but I've used the same variable names. So on the actual counter that's going to run on the main X-Wing program, that this isn't the X-Wing program, this is just a test program I'm running to get the display to work and do everything I want it to do, so that I can easily add it to the main X-Wing code when I'm finished. So it's just testing it really. So these are hard coded, but they're the same variables. So if I copied the code over and just pasted it into the X-Wing code, it should just run. This will count down, this will increment with every track or sound byte that we play. These temperature readings are again hard coded in the Arduino test code for this display, and I'm just sending them values across. When I change screens and come back, you'll see that they're not that value, and then it loads them. So like if I go, so I'm trying to press this, so if I go back now, I don't know whether you saw that, let me do it again. I'm looking at where I'm pressing and the screen as well, right? Yeah, see it load the values. There's a slight delay, so I don't know what I'm going to set them to, but it's, some of them are coded into the display and then it writes over, the Arduino writes over the top of them. So that's how it's going to work. So these will update with the correct things. The PCB is, as I said, it's the boards that's going to be up in the ceiling and possibly, you know, like the room temperature or the board temperature. This is the internal temperature of the model, and it's reading off of the circuit board that's in the model. So it's not the heat sinks, it's the actual sort of ambient temperature in the model. The mode is where we play pool most of the time, but we watch TV, we watch Grand Tour and stuff like that, or gaming or something. We use the Xbox or something like that. So we don't want like the exhausts flashing away and the intakes pulsing, and it's going to be distracting and too bright because this will be in front of the TV type of thing. So we're going to put it into TV mode. I can choose, I'm still thinking about this, but I can choose whether I just have the nose wheel light only on, so it will just be one LED that's quite bright, whether I put the wing landing lights on as well, but I can set the brightness on here, so I can just set it to whatever value I want. There's a number in there actually. I'll try and zoom in a bit closer to see it. There you go. So that's now picked that up. So it just changes. So I can set it up to maximum. So we can set this, you know, because it might be different brightnesses and things on the weather and things will make a difference as to how we have that set. Returning it to pool mode will send a code to the Arduino that we want to play pool again, and it will turn the main pool lights back on. The other thing in here is diagnostics, which is just to that's not showing that very well. Right, what it's doing, let me just zoom. Right, let me just come out of it a bit. There you go. So what I've got like a timer on this so that you can see it actually setting them all to red, and then it repolls them all to see if they're there. So it's constantly talking to the sensors. So this may stop them getting readings at the moment, but we wouldn't know because there's no other way of seeing them other than this display. So if one should die and not take down the whole bus, which I don't quite know how they're going to die, but if I just unplug it, trying to do it with my other hand, see I've unplugged one there, I've unplugged the one on the boards and unplugged it back in, hopefully not misplugged it, there you go. So they're all back again. So one sensor goes off, I'm going to do it. It'll show up in here. If I lost the bus to the model, I might lose 3 sensors. So I'd know it would be something global like the cable, or it would be these sensors are 3.3, so they're 3.3 volts. So there is a shifter which is up in the ceiling, so it's easy to get to. But basically, I can plug another sensor in to the boards up in the ceiling, and it'll come up in here, so I'd know it was there, and I can read the temperature off of it, so I know that the fault is in the model or in the ceiling. That's the plan. Whether it works like that, I don't know, but we'll see. But that's okay, that's that done. I could have gone back straight to the main screen, but at the minute I've gone here, it's just a simple change in code to do it. So I'm trying to press this and not shake the video and everything. There we are. So the volume, again, this is all set. The Arduino, this has come from the Arduino, this is not coded in the Nextion, so I can turn the volume up, which would turn the volume up on our sound bites to the MP3 player, so it will be playing at 21 volume now, not, because it goes up to, I think it's 0 to 30 it goes to. So I haven't got to go to 0, I don't think, I can't remember when I went to 0, I might have done. But basically, if you if I set this all the time we're playing, so it goes to 0, so it's off. So all the time we're playing, this would be set to that value 7. At the moment, it's not persistent in the code that if I go back and come out and go back into it, oh, it has, it's remembered it. So the Arduino has still got this variable set to 7 inside it, so it won't change. But if I powered it off, this would come back to 15 or whatever I choose to code, because I could code it to 20 if it's more like what we really want it to be. I don't know how that's going to work, but another simple code change would set a default. To actually save it after a power off, I'd need to have an SD card attached to the Arduino and write that number off to it, which is a bit extreme really. I don't think I need to go that far. Fan temps, now these again, I have still left the delay in there. I need to take this off because I did it so I could see them moving. These values here are raw from the sensors, so they are like 30.2 or 3 or whatever they want to be. These I've just hard coded them, like I said. This kind of should match it. Graphics isn't my thing. I've altered this because I don't really want it going over 60 degrees anyway, but I've had to do a bit of editing on this graphics here. As I said, it ain't my thing doing graphics, so you know, they're not that great, but they're the best I can do. Same with this one, it's hard coded, but the variable names that I'm using to get these sensor reads are the actual temperature sensor reads on the main code, if that makes sense, so that all I need to do is copy it over. And again, this should all just work straight out the box. I shouldn't have to do anything to it. I've also got in code that should the temperature get up to, I don't know, whatever I set it to, say 38 degrees, it will shut that light off. So say the fan failed on the centre pool light, this would climb up and I could set it to go off at 50 degrees so that when it gets to 50 the light switches off. It'll cool back down to a determined level where I say it can come back on again. So I'd probably let it drop down to 5 degrees or something, and then it'll come back on, and we're going to know there's a fault with it. So that the idea is that we replace a £5 fan. All right, that's a lot of hassle to replace that, but we don't want plastic dripping in the pool table bays. My mate's bays is slow enough as it is without lumps of nylon in it. So we don't want that. We don't want a saggy model either. So you know, that's the fail-safe kind of thing we've done there. Trying to see if I've got that. What else have I got to go with? Oh, this is just stats. I'm already showing these on the main page. I could need this page, probably not. I could add total tracks and total folders, because you can have 255 folders and 255 tracks in each folder. So I could put on there that I've actually only used 10 folders, and each folder's got, you know, I'm going to try and put the same amount of tracks in each folder. There was a reason why I was going to do that, but I can't think what it is at the minute. I could put that information in there, but the actual, I don't think the actual MP3 player it might give you that information if you send it the right request, but I haven't done that, so I'd have to, because I've hard coded what my folders are, you know, the maximum, so that I know when I'm doing a random, trying to play tracks randomly, I know what I'm picking from, because I don't want to pick from 255 when I'm only using 10. So, you know, I've told it what the maximums are, so I know what's in there, sort of thing. So I might add that. Other than that, that is about it done. I mean, we've got a plastic housing for this out in the garage. I don't know that it's that good. I don't know if I'm that happy with it. I'd rather it was something larger than what it is. I was a bit disappointed with it when it came, but I still haven't done this power supply, the other one. I've got this one here, actually, which is live. I don't want to go and short something. And I still haven't mounted that board. The posts are here now, but I don't know, I just haven't felt like it. I've been too busy. Once you get into this, you've got to kind of get into it and stay into it. The other thing is, what have I got left to do? Well, I've got a little list here. I've got to cut the rest of the soundtracks from the movie. I've got to fit that PSU, fit the display board into its housing, which I just said, and also that little board over the other side I've got to fit, which I just showed you, the one with the interrupt light on it. And that's it really. Then it's kind of like filling the model where it needs filling, you know, ready for spraying, because we're going to spray this to age it. I need to also, I said before, is to try and cover them LEDs with some black card or something and paint them so it matches everything else, so you don't see the actual LED lens, so that it just lights the engine up. And I might change the code. I'm not that happy with the way it flickers and that in there. Not now, it's when it's running. I'm not that happy with it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about having them just on steady, but lower values, so they're not so bright, and just have them so they're glowing. But I don't know. There isn't no such thing as a real X-Wing, is there? So what would it really look like? I don't know. So, but that is it. So I will update you as I progress through the rest of these stages. Thanks very much for watching, and see you on the next one.